Who were the ideological teachers of Hitler? Hitler considered his main teacher to be a political thinker known then as K. Freigedank. Freigedank wrote that the Aryan race should be dominating the world and that Jews are at the very bottom of the hierarchy of races and therefore should be eliminated. The Führer reread the works of Freigedank and adored his music. Yes, his music. For the man who in the 19th century was known in Germany under his pen name Freigedank is known today under his real name Wilhelm Richard Wagner. Freigedank Wagner was a famous writer, a poet, and a political thinker. Friedrich Nietzsche called him a prophet of the modern soul. Mikhail Bakunin repeatedly stayed at his house. Wagner advocated for freedom, equality, and justice, but when it came to Jews, he called them the evil of civilization. What caused this hatred? Anti-Semitism always followed us Jews like a shadow. Throughout the centuries, we wanted to get rid of it and become equal among the nations. And in the 18th century, it seemed like a solution was found. A Jewish German philosopher, Moses Mendelssohn, whom Immanuel Kant considered to be his best student, founded a movement that was supposed to end anti-Semitism once and for all. Mendelssohn, who was born in a Jewish Orthodox family, believed that Jews are hated because they are different. They stand out with their clothes, with their language, with their religion. But if we Jews will be like everyone else, they will stop hating us. His motto was, be a Jew in your home and a German on the street. He called his movement the Jewish Enlightenment. Sounds great. What could be a problem? To understand it, let's get back to Wagner. Wagner's main idea was the purity of Aryan race. He was not bothered by the French living in Germany, as they identify themselves as French. The Russians who found themselves in Germany remained Russians. The British were staying Brits. All these people never thought of becoming Germans. And only the Jews who were in Germany were trying to become Germans, and more than that, they considered themselves real Germans. Wagner saw a danger for Germany precisely in the fact that Jews wanted to integrate into the German culture. And by doing so, they were polluting the German nation, as he wrote. The more Jews were trying to be Germans, the more Wagner saw them as enemies of his country. The embodiment of this threat for Wagner, the composer, were two Jewish musicians, Giacomo Meyerbeer and Felix Mendelssohn. One second, we just mentioned name Mendelssohn a minute ago. Yes, Felix Mendelssohn, who we are talking about now, was a grandson of Moses Mendelssohn, the founder of the movement that was supposed to end anti-Semitism. Felix Mendelssohn called himself not a Jew, but a German of a Jewish descent. But Wagner saw in him a Jew who polluted Aryan race. Moreover, Wagner argued that Mendelssohn's music had Jewish melodies in it and that he was a bad influence on German culture. Reform Judaism saw itself as the progeny of the Enlightenment movement, and Giacomo Meyerbeer was a son of one of the founders of the Reform community of Berlin. He was the personification of a Jew who learned how to be a real German. He achieved unprecedented heights in German society and was appointed to be the chief conductor of one of the most prominent theaters in Germany. What do we see? The Jewish Enlightenment movement, which was supposed to end anti-Semitism, only poured gasoline on its fire. And who were the epitome of the Jewish evil in the eyes of the main theorist of anti-Semitism of those days? A biological descendant and a spiritual follower of Moses Mendelssohn, the founder of the Jewish Enlightenment movement. Throughout our history, we have seen the same picture. Over and over, we see plays with the same script played out in front of our eyes, only differing in their location and the language in which the actors speak. The more Jews are trying to assimilate among other nations in order to avoid anti-Semitism, the more they are hated.